Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Print Calm, and we are going to do some more work with formulas. So first of all, I want to make sure that we go to View and go to Zoom, click on the radio button for Custom, and put in 140 there and press Enter. All right, you're in cell A1. Let's type in name, and then press your right arrow, and let's type in hours. Press your right arrow, let's type in rate. Press your right arrow and let's type in pay. All right, press enter. Press your home key and press your left arrow and you should be back in cell A2. All right, now let's enter some names here. I'll type in John and Lily and Mary and Jim and Harry and Hannah and Doug, Jerry and Joe, Tim, Jim. All right, that's good. And then remember, when we press the right arrow and we're in a blank column, we press the end key and we press the up arrow and we go to the top and you should be in cell B1, and now down arrow once and you're in cell B2. And don't forget that the name box tells you where you are. All right, let's put a pattern in here. We'll put a pattern in. We'll put in 40, press enter. Then we'll put in 39. Press enter. Now remember, click in cell B2, hold down the shift key and click in cell B3. All right, now take your fill handle and let's drag down to 34. So we've got 40, 39, 38, and you see a pattern. Now go to cell B9, put in 40, press enter, come back to B9 and double click to put in 40 as the value for the other hours. All right, once again, press your right arrow, press your end key and your up arrow. All right, and you should be in cell C1. Press your down arrow once and now you're in cell C2. All right, let's put a pattern in, and let's say that you start at $11.75, which is minimum wage. And now we'll add $2 an hour to that. Whoa, I didn't want to do that. I want to put in 13.75. All right, there we have a pattern. Same thing. Click in cell C2, hold down your shift key, and click in cell C3. All right, we've got our pattern. Double click, and there you see 13.75, 15.75, 17.75. Your pattern is there. Press your right arrow once and you are right in cell D2. Check your name box just to make sure you are in cell D2. Now you want to calculate the pay. Remember, we put in equals and we have to take the hours, and you don't type it in, you click. Click in cell B2. All right, put in your times, which is your star, to say that you're going to multiply 40 hours times your rate. Click in the cell C2. So you should see B2 in blue to match the 40, and C2 is red to match your rate, $11.75. All right, press enter. Okay, so now go back to D2 and double click, and you should have calculated the pay for everyone listed there. All right, this time click in cell E1 and we're going to have an increase here. So we're going to type the word increase, press enter, go back to E2 and copy it, Control C. Remember that? And remember, these are called the marching green ants. Okay? All right, now you went Control C, so now we want to go to, let's go to A15 and go Control V as in Victor so that you paste in the word increase. Press your right arrow once and let's have a 10% increase. All right, press enter. Now we want to go back to E2. Now, there's a fast way to move. This is only a short distance, and I know you could click, but I want you to press function key F5. And note that it says go to. All right, we want to go to E2, so type E2 and press enter. And you are in cell E2. All right, how do we calculate a 10% increase? You put in your equals, and you take your pay times, and note the pay is blue, put in your mathematical operator times, which is the star, and you want to take it times 10%, which is B15, and you see it as red. Press enter. And you got $47, and that makes sense, 10% of 470. All right, let's fill it here. Remember your thin black crosshairs, left double click. Everybody else got 0. How come? All right, let's look. So I'm going to go to formulas in the menu bar, and we're going to go to show formulas. All right, and now do you see we have your pay times 10%, which is correct. Then you have your pay times 0. Then you have your pay times 0. Your pay times 0. Your pay times 0. Your pay times 0. Your pay times 0, and so on. All right, the computer did what it was supposed to do. It performed a relative copy, which is D2 and B15. So this would be D3, B16, D4, B17, D5, B18, D6, B19. A relative copy, meaning that you perform the same action, but in a different row. But in this case, it's wrong, because we need everybody to get 10%. All right, so now I'm going to turn off show your formula so you can see your amounts. Now we want to edit this cell. So press function key F2. And you are in edit mode right now. You can see the formula up here, but you want to work right here. So now the cursor's sitting here right beside the red cell. So you press function key F4 once. And you should see a $sign in front of the B and a $sign in front of the 15, which means the cell is frozen. It's absolute. It can't change. It's constant. All right, so now press enter. Now go back to E2 and double click, and now you've calculated 10% of each of those values. Let's go to formulas and say show formulas. Now what do you see? You see D2, which is relative. B15 doesn't change. D3 times B15 doesn't change. D4 times B15 doesn't change. D5. So D2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are relative. B15 means the cell is constant, absolute. It does not change. And that's why we all got 10%. So turn off your show formulas. Okay, then there's two ways we can approach this. We know you have a pay of $470 and you have an increase of $47. So you want to know what your total pay would be with the 10% increase. So we're going to do it with a sum formula first, and then we're going to do it with a percentage formula. All right, so go to cell F1 and put in new pay. New pay. All right, press enter. And your new pay, if we do it with a sum, we would say equals sum, S-U-M, open your parentheses. And note it tells you what to do. Include your numbers. Now, this is where you take your big white cursor and you highlight your pay and your increase. So it should say D2 to E2. This is correct. Press enter. All right. And now double click and you've calculated your new pay. All right, that's good. This time we're going to use a percent. So this is going to be new pay 1, just for a different name. And it hardly fits, so widen your column so that it does fit. All right, and this time we have to come down here. Now watch, click in cell A15, drag down increase so that you don't have to type it again. And this time we're going to put in 110%, because you could say to me, my pay is 100%, it increased 10%, so the total would be 110. All right, let's go to G2, and we're going to say equals, and you want to take your pay, the original pay, times 110%. This time you know it has to be absolute, because everybody wants to see what is their pay going to be at 110%. All right, so press F4 to make it absolute. Press enter. And did you get the same? 517? Yes, you did. All right, left double click, and you have now got your new pay, which is the same as the new pay. All right, take a look. Show formulas, and you see the sum of D2 to E2 for your new pay, or you see D2, which is your old pay, times 110%. All right, that's good, and we will stop here.